Let's talk for a second about women's self-defense. Now, in today's society especially, I don't like to say women's self-defense because self-defense is self-defense. So no matter who you are, if you feel like you're going to be attacked or hurt, the big reason why women's self-defense is a tagline you hear a lot of times isn't to exclude other people, but more to make women feel more comfortable with the idea of the fact that they're going to a place where they can be looked at particularly versus, what's this place going to be like, and are people going to be, you know, macho, pushing me around, things like that. So this video doesn't necessarily concern itself with just women, but again, that's kind of why people have a women's self-defense class. But today I would like to cover the topics of some of the very bare bones basics. Now, recently we've started a cardio class and women's self-defense class, which some people might get upset and say, well, that's not going to be real good for people and people will be unsafe and stuff like that. But there's three beginning stages of self-defense. One is avoidance. Okay, so the first thing I want to think of is there a situation I shouldn't be going to? I shouldn't be there. Am I in a situation I shouldn't be in? I'm going to get out of here. Am I keeping my eyes on people without staring at people? Am I avoiding and being careful of what I'm doing? That is stage one. Always avoid and get away from everything. That is self-defense, which is the core here. This is not a fighting class. It's a self-defense class. Okay, get away. Keep yourself safe. Defend yourself. The second part involves what happens once we do get into a discussion or the beginnings of an altercation. Well, for one thing, when I speak to somebody and I have my hands down and maybe I twiddle my hands or I bring my arms in like this and stuff like that, I've tied up my weapons or I've dropped my weapons altogether. I've given my vital areas. Everything right down here is vital, okay? Groin, solar plexus, throat, nose, eyes, all these things are very important to me. If I get them hit, they're not such a good thing. So one of the first things we want to do is we want to learn how to talk with our hands, kind of like I'm doing right now, okay? I have my hands up, I can put my hands up in case somebody swings at me. I can push somebody away from me. I can do a lot of things like that I can't do like this or with your hands in your pockets or whatever. So first, get your hands up. But notice I'm not like wah or woo or none of that. I've just got my hands up and I'm just talking to you. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't realize that's what was going on. Maybe I'll just go home. Okay? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these vital areas and I'm going to move them offline. So I'm just going to kind of put myself to the side. That way, if something does happen to me, I'm going to cringe up and at least be able to take the shot versus hitting the stomach, punched in the face, things like that. These are some of the bare basics. The next thing that happen are the strikes and if somebody grabs me and all this other stuff. That's usually what people concern themselves with first because you imagine yourself in a fight. And there is a place for that. But really, the first thing you need to think about is avoidance. Second thing you need to think about is posture and how we're being. Also, if I'm talking to you like this, you might not really take me very seriously that I know what I'm talking about. So when I speak in more of a bass coming from down here. I'm not mean. I'm not like, hey, there will be a spot for that. But at the beginning, when I'm speaking to somebody, hey, I'm sorry, I'm just going to go. Now, should I apologize? Should I not apologize? Again, this has to do with the situation, which is why a class is something that you should be attending. Talking about situations and scenarios. Somebody drags you, somebody pulls you, somebody grabs your hair, somebody gets you in your car, somebody's stalking you, there's a lot of ground to cover, which we'll cover in our classes. If you want to come to our class, find yourself another class, find some place where you feel comfortable, where you feel like the knowledge is useful. If it's 90% trying to beat somebody up, it's probably not useful, okay? So there is a place for the striking and the self-defense, but first and foremost, common sense needs to be your ruler. So anyway, you can come try our cardio and our self-defense class. Now, self-defense, keeping yourself fit is one of the best self-defenses you can do, because you ever try fighting with somebody, it's the most exhausting thing that will ever happen in your life. So that's kind of the fun part, and for the last half of the class, we talked through what we do and what we did in a lot of our exercises. But Springfield Karate and Fitness, you can come see us, go see somebody else, but start taking things in your own hands, get to work, and good luck to you, and stay safe.